It's Grant Random here with Bill of Mastodon here at Epicenter.
Hi.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
You guys have a really kind of cool year in that you're about to do this big tour, which is going to be in celebration of Crack the Sky.
10 years, yeah.
10 years. When you think back 10 years ago to making that, and that it's been 10 years, does it seem like it's been that long? I mean, what are your reflections as you are kind of thinking about this album?
It's crazy, man. I feel like kind of like I'm a totally different person now. I was watching some of the old videos of all. I mean, we're all 10 years older, obviously. And,
Yeah.
We were, I don't know. It was. It's weird watching those old videos that we were releasing like every week. Episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 about us in the studio at that time, and I don't know. It's weird because you're like stepping back in time, and all those songs were so fresh and new, and we were all so excited about working with Brendan O'Brien because that was our first time actually working with like a real solid producer.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Produced so much, like so many huge bands, so many classic albums.
And it was such a big step for us in the studio we were recording in. It was the first time we were really doing anything like that of that size in Atlanta. And Brent had just had his accident, and we were kind of on the prep. We just didn't know what the band was gonna happen with us after all that stuff. So it was kind of like a new beginning for our band, I think. So in some ways, I'm like, wow, it doesn't seem like 10 years ago, but like I said, watching the video, I'm like, wow, we were so much different back then. I mean, we're just a different bunch of people now. But
Well, and that's the thing too, is being that you're in a band, you're photographed and videoed all the time, and yeah, when you have to go back and look at it, I guess there are probably times where it's a little uncomfortable, like, man, why was I wearing that shirt, or what was I thinking, idiot, right?
Well, it's good and bad. It's not a bad thing. I mean, I think we're all in better places now, but I don't know. I just kind of reliving the excitement of when we were doing that record, and to go back out. I mean, honestly, if it weren't the 10-year anniversary of Crack the Sky, we probably would have said no to touring for the rest of the year and just work on new material.
Which is in progress, as we understand.
Yeah, there's some stuff going on, but man, we're all just so busy. Like right now, my wife's in Africa for 3 months.
Really?
Working. And like I'm the solo dad. I got 2 kids, so I'm like trying to take care of them, and I just had to, got them up at like 8 this morning, made them breakfast, got them off to their respective friends' houses to where they're going to sleep tonight, because obviously I'm out of town and there's no one to watch them. I mean, they're 12 and 14, and they're not going to stay at home alone. Come home and the house will be freaking burnt down.
Right.
Take care of my dogs, and then get to the airport and jump on a plane, and then drive 2 hours from Charlotte to get here, and now I'm here, so I'm a little, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah, and that's what sometimes people don't remember, that you're this guy in this big band, but you're also like a dude. You've got kids and a dog, and like you got
2 dogs. Yeah, Moose and Frank. Say hi to them. Hi.
Hey, Moose and Frank.
Moose and Frank.
I love it. You mentioned that your wife is in Africa. It's Mother's Day. Do you have a message for her? A greeting, a Mother's Day greeting? Since
she's way in bed now. But happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there, and mothers to be. To my mom, who's passed on now, I think about her every day, and especially today. It's very difficult, for my brother and I to think about it, and but it's shit happens, life. You can't have life without death, I guess. And
it's true.
People get sick, especially the people that you love the most. And, there's been a lot of that, seems like, going around lately with our managers passing as well. Nick John, who we all love dearly. And, we did the Stairway to Heaven tribute to him. It's just for him, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's looking down at us from heaven, just going, man, I can't believe you guys did that. That's crazy. That's some big balls. Pretty ambitious to do something like that.
That's a big song to cover. Yeah.
It really is, But his widow had asked us to play it acoustically at his funeral, and we're not gonna say no. We were like, yeah, fuck yeah, of course we will. You know? And we're like, wow, that's a big step. That's a big beast of a song,
Right.
And we decided to do the record store day thing, and we were gonna do it all acoustic, and then like we started recording it. We really got in there, and I was like, man, Braun, you got to put your drums on this because this is sounding fucking awesome. Like, this is really sounding cool.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been fans of Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. You know, for me growing up, and you know, Nick John loved that. That was his. He was Nick Zoso on Instagram, so he was. You know, it's for you, Nick.
That's very cool. Another big thing that's happening today is the second to last Game of Thrones episode.
Oh shit, that's right. I can't wait to get back to my hotel room and watch it.
Right, exactly. Well, and what's special is that you actually had an opportunity to be on the show.
Twice, yes.
Twice.
We were in it twice as whites.
And so how did that come about? I mean, you guys were obviously just fans of the show, but how did that come to pass that you got to be on it?
Well, yeah, we're all fans of the show, and we happened to be in Belfast. Well, actually, where it all first went down, we were in Nebworth Castle, playing a huge festival there in England.
Yeah.
And Dan Weiss was at the show with a bunch of the actors, and he came backstage, and we just started talking to him, and we were like, well, man, we would love to be on the show as an extra or something. And he's like, yeah, we can do that. Excuse me. And we just kind of, you know, one day he just called up and said, oh, well, hey, why don't you come to Belfast, and like we'll throw you guys in there. And it just so happened that we were starting a tour like the very next day in Ireland, so it all worked out really well.
Yeah.
We filmed the scene, and then I think a few months later, a year later, we played in Belfast again, and he came to the gig, and I said, hey man, you know, technically we're not dead because we just got brought back from the dead.
Well, because you were originally Wildlings.
Yeah, we were Wildlings.
In the first time, and then the second time you were the Whites.
Yeah, so I said, well, technically we're not dead. Like, he brought us back to life, so we could be in the next season if you want us to, you know, and it just worked out that we were.
And very prominently so. There was it seemed like there was a big line of Whites, and you guys were front and center. You were very prominently seen. Like, I'm like, wait, there's Mastodon.
Yeah. I mean, he did that on purpose, obviously, because we were, you know.
But it was great. It was funny to see that, because, like, I know those guys.
Yeah,
you guys got very well placed.
It was quite an experience, too. Being an actor, I don't know if I could do it, really, because it's a lot of waiting around and doing the same actions over and over and over, and then it's about a 2-second clip on the TV, you know, or in the movie or whatever. So it's a lot of hard work.
So I have to ask you a few Game of Thrones oriented questions. First of all, what's the Night King like when he's, you know, not commanding the army of the dead?
Man, honestly, I could barely look at him. When we were all sitting around backstage and he was like sitting there, like, you know, sipping on his coffee through a straw or whatever, I was just like, holy shit, that guy looks so fucking scary.
Like, even when in person.
Even in person,
yeah.
like, he looked like a real fucking demon up close. But, you know, there was a couple of the Four Horsemen guys who we started hanging out with and talking to. Because, I mean, honestly, literally every dude that was an extra in those scenes, all the big, hairy, tattooed wildlings, like, they were all fans. Like, they'd come over and be like, hey, mate, yeah, it's really nice to meet you. and a dude had, like, a burned-out face.
Right,
and I was like, whoa, man, it looks so real.
This is not like the other meet and greets.
He's like, yeah, I sit in the chair for, like, 8 hours every day, and I've had this on for, like, 2 days straight. I can't eat anything because his jaw was all wired shut, and he had to sip everything through a straw. And you know, the Four Horsemen do, like, we were hanging out with those dudes, and they just look so fucking evil up close.
Oh my God,
and they're all drinking, like, hot chocolate. Like, go get a straw for this. Get a straw for this. They were just like, wow, this evil-ass dude's asking for a straw for his hot chocolate. It was really bizarre, but it was really cool.
Did you happen to get any photos of those guys? Or they were probably prohibited.
Oh, yeah,
right?
we did. We got lots of photos. I wasn't supposed to take any, but I did.
I know, right? That's why I would imagine they tell you not to.
Them. Yeah.
Like maybe with the Four Horsemen or.
Yep, we did. It'll take me a minute to find it in here,
sure.
But.
Well, while you're looking for it, I'll ask you then favorite villain from Game of Thrones. I mean, I'm thinking you're probably gonna say the Night King, but.
Favorite villain. I don't know. I mean, everybody's got. There's some people who aren't villains, but everyone's got an evil streak. You know what I mean?
It's true. Especially now, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I like the dog.
Or the Hound?
The Hound,
yes.
not the dog. The Hound.
The Hound is great.
Hound dog.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the Hound and Cersei is really fucking evil.
So evil. I think she may take the cake. Yeah.
I mean, when she was torturing those nuns or whatever from the oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty vicious.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking sick.
Okay, favorite death scenes in the show or episodes, because there's been some pretty horrific ends to lives on the show.
Yeah.
What would you say has been your favorite?
I mean, when the two guys that were in the Lannister army when they were captured by Daenerys and they were put to death by the dragons.
Yes.
The fire from the dragons.
Yes.
It was pretty fucking brutal, man.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, you're about to be burned alive and you know it.
That was pretty vicious.
And you're still going for it.
Something commanded by a supposedly heroic individual.
Yeah.
Too. Again, going back to the streaks of bad.
Yeah.
And finally, your prediction. Do you have any idea how this thing's going to end?
I think the Army of the Dead's going to rise back up again and kill everybody.
I love it. I love it. That would mean you'd have to come back.
Yeah.
I like it.
Happily come back.
Perfect. Mastodon is going to be out touring this summer with Coheed.
Yep, just a couple weeks from now, yeah.
And doing Crack the Sky in its entirety.
Yeah, we've got all new video wall footage. I was just actually watching some. It all links up with the songs, and it's fucking insane. It's my first time seeing it, so I was like, wow, it looks really spectacular.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a really cool tour, for sure.
Well, Bill from Mastodon, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you,
We
Graham.
appreciate it.